Well, here we are again. I had another seizure yesterday. That was a month and a half after the last seizure, which we were really hoping would be a much longer stretch of time, maybe forever, but apparently not. This time I had been checking my heart rate every morning, multiple times through the morning, to see how it was doing, because my heart rate always goes very tachycardic when I have a seizure. I think that's pretty standard when you have a seizure. So I knew that was something to look out for. If my heart rate was really high, it could be signaling that something bad's coming. So yesterday morning it was a little higher than normal, and I kept an eye on it. And then a little bit later, after I got up, only probably about 20 minutes after I got up, I noticed it was very tachycardic all of a sudden, and I knew it was coming. So I was able to let my husband know. He was able to be there. For some reason, I only used the frankincense, which I have here, to smell. I used it first thing in the morning when I get up. That's the standard now. It's what I do every day. But I didn't do it again after that, I don't think. And I should have, because I know for some people, frankincense can actually cause the seizure to settle down before it ever happens. So that would be amazing. I would love, love, love to be able to do that. But that's not how it went yesterday. So you guys get to see some more footage of my wacko seizure and my even more wacko postictal phase of sharing nonsense again. So what I did was I checked my heart rate throughout the time of getting up, going and brushing my teeth, going and sitting in the living room. And then I started to feel worse and worse, just not right. Couldn't really describe it otherwise, just didn't feel right. And checked my heart rate again. It was super tachycardic. So that's when I knew it was coming. And I let my husband know, and he was there, and he grabbed the frankincense and waved that under my nose right away while I was lying there on the floor. And that got me out. He thinks that I was in the seizure for a good 45 seconds, which is great. That's so much better than 3 to 4 minutes. That's the standard for me. So that was good. And I only bit my tongue a little bit. It still hurts, but it's not bad. I can still eat, I can still speak, which is a drastic improvement over the previous times that I have bit my tongue, because, man, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to speak properly again after that ever. So that was pretty brutal. This time was not as bad. And yeah, we've got lots of shaking around in this one again, even though it was short. And then went into the postictal phase and started saying wacko things again, because that's what I do apparently. And it's not just that I say wacko things, but there's a period of time I'm so out of it. I go in and out of what looks like a very deep sleep, and I'm guessing probably is because what happens in your brain when you have a seizure absolutely knocks you flat. Like it just rips you apart inside, like you can't do anything else. And in fact, this is the first time in a while, actually since, goodness, over a year now, well over a year, maybe closer to 2, that the muscles, the way that they were acting, I'm sore today. I've got soreness in my neck. I feel like I did sit-ups when I didn't yesterday. And there's repercussions here too, not just the tongue. I definitely feel out of it again. I guess I'm into the 3 weeks of postictal crazy feelings and out of it, and brain fog and all that stuff that comes afterwards. That's in some ways maybe the most frustrating part, because it just doesn't go away. It's just there all the time. So my life is either I might have a seizure or I just had a seizure. And that kind of sucks, just so you know. I am still doing carnivore. I don't plan on giving up on it. I'm not even 3 months into it yet. So I still have a ways to go to even get normalized. I don't believe that I am fat adapted or that I'm fully ketogenic yet. Not in a stable way, at least, because I've only got the urine strips right now. We're working on getting blood strips, but the urine strips are showing me as being in ketosis every day. And pretty significantly, although it's not super accurate, but they really shouldn't be showing up that much once you're fat adapted. So I don't believe that I am totally fat adapted yet. So, and that would explain why even on this diet, I am still gaining a bit of weight, and that's really frustrating. So I'm trying to cut down on my protein and increase my fat. That's another factor with this seizure happening, is the day before I actually decided to really hit hard on the ketones. So I decreased my meat intake and drastically decreased my fat intake. which should be a good thing. That's a good thing for keeping you in ketosis, for getting you in ketosis. But apparently, if you get too high in ketosis, you could even potentially cause more problems. So I want to be careful about that. And maybe I overdid it a bit. I did feel a little bit off all day yesterday. Maybe that's because the seizure was coming, but maybe it's because of the change in food. So obviously yesterday I didn't eat that much food because I just had a seizure. So I was pretty out of it. And just, you know, my tongue was a little sore, and you lose your appetite when you have a seizure. Like, it's just, you don't feel like doing anything. So I did manage to sort of carry on with the day and do the things that needed to be done, and got through, and here we are today. And or without power today, which is maybe why I might look a little bit darker than normal. So apologies if that's an issue, but hopefully that will be sorted out soon. So my understanding is that keto, and particularly carnivore, take time. They take a lot of time. It's not just a few weeks. Although some people do, many people probably often do find after a few weeks they start noticing some pretty impressive changes. But to have the full health recovery is months. And I'm sad to say, but I hear some people even say years before it really does what it needs to do. So I am really hoping it comes soon, that I start seeing some real improvements, because this is kind of the last thing that I've got. My functional medicine doctor is very sweet and wants to help, but doesn't know that much about keto. I don't think she knows a whole lot about seizures. We have some ideas of how to hopefully solve the cause of the seizures that we're going to be working on in coming months. But in the meantime, here we are. And I'm left trying to figure out the keto situation, the carnivore situation. The food part's going well, having some fun making new foods that I've never made before still, which is kind of neat and a little scary sometimes, but also fun. And yes, it can be expensive, although I think when I was on Walls, it was also super expensive because I needed to eat organic produce, massive amounts of organic produce. And around here, especially where I live, that's not cheap. It is not cheap. So I don't miss that. As I've said before, I don't miss the vegetables, really. I don't. Sometimes the fruit maybe a little bit, but not enough to worry about it. So I'm actually quite happy just doing the meat. And I hope that stays for a long time, especially if it's going to help me. And if it's not, then eventually I will look at moving other things into my diet. I'd love to bring avocados in. I'd love to bring coconut milk back in, things like that. So, but one thing at a time. And for now, the primary focus is these seizures, because my goodness, they need to go. And I don't know if they ever will, because I know there's a lot of us out there with seizures, and we have no direction, no help. All there is the medical system, which just throws these really, really heinous drugs at you. And some people find that they actually help and don't cause any problems, but I don't think that's the norm. Most people do have side effects. Many have side effects to a degree that it actually changes their lives, and potentially for the long term as well. So I'm just not interested in doing that to myself again. I've already done that. I've already put in over a year of that, of trying to deal with the drug issues, and I still am. I mean, the withdrawal from the lamotrigine still could be a factor in why I had yet another seizure. So as hopefully that settles down, I understand the withdrawal can take months, and I'm barely into it from that angle, then it's possible that it's a factor. And once it does once my body settles down, the drug is out of my system, but my system got used to learning how to do things the way the drug told it to do, and it's still not sure how to do things on its own the way it did before, which wasn't always necessarily great either. So there's a lot of tweaking things to do right now, playing around with different lifestyle changes, different medications, potentially, at very least supplements. And we'll see where it goes from here. In the meantime, you've got my seizure, which was short, like I said, but boy, did I really shake. I was doing a lot, and I am sore today. I feel like I had a workout yesterday when I had no workout yesterday because I had a seizure. I had planned to, but no, not when you have a seizure. It's just better to chill. So that's what I did. And then after I went into Postictal and went crazy and talked about weird things that nobody understands, which you could hear because my tongue wasn't so badly bit that I felt like I couldn't speak, so I did speak, and it was not pleasant for me to watch my brain out of control like that. I sort of think maybe I was in like a semi-dream state or something like that, like I'm dreaming and I'm speaking, and it feels like it could be. There seems to be this, you're sort of washing in and out of dreams or something like that. It's very strange. But that's what I went through. So here we are. And we'll just carry on with keto and trying things from my functional medicine doctor. And Lord willing, these seizures will get them somehow under control and maybe even get rid of them one day. I'm still hoping, but we will see. That's up to the Lord. So thank you for watching. I hope you find it helpful, and God bless.
Get her on her side. Watch your head. Drag her down. Oh. Glasses on. She's not seizing me anymore. That was probably about 45 seconds. What do you want?
I just want to push the right button to get back to the right size. So like the second button.
It's at the right size.
Hmm?
It's at the right size.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's trying to push a button on the phone.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the right size, and it's not quite coming out the way I want.
What's wrong with the size?
The lower size it fits better than the biggest one.
The lower size better than the bigger one?
Sorry, one more time?
The lower size is better than the bigger one?
Yes.
I don't know what size we're on.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's okay.
Yeah, that's my trigger that I had before was the type of damage from being that young or that such a minor setting. But I don't know what the detail is like for being very young.
I don't think we need to worry about it. Not right now. You a little cold?
Hmm?
Are you a little cold?
I don't know, my frost in my sleeve is a little bit, feeling a bit, a lot of butter.
I just need to rest.
Yeah.
Mm.
You're awake.
Mm-hmm. I'm awake.
It reminds me of you waking up very early.
Pardon?
It reminds me of you waking up very early.
Oh.
What are you doing here?
Just sitting with you.
Why, did I do something?
No.
No?
Just need to relax.
Was I doing anything that made it? Like that I needed something to relax?
Yeah, you had another seizure.
I had a seizure? Really?
Yeah.
When?
About 15 minutes ago.
Really?
So we're just gonna lay down and relax for a bit.
Yeah. So that's what I'm waiting for, is for it to just relax.
Yeah, and you need a rest.
Okay.
What are you looking for? What are you looking for?
Oh, just water.
Water?
Just to help wind my, what's the word? Just to push the water through so that I'm not getting so much dehydration.